Now, let's talk about emoticons. I get a lot of questions about like, what emoticons should I use? Should I say lol? Should I not say lol? Good questions. I know it sounds silly, but in the kind of text game, it is very, very potent. I use, so the concept of emoticons is emoticons improve interpretation of plain text. Yeah, smileys. Yeah, sorry. It's like any kind of like symbols that you use at the end to add emotional value to a sentence. Conflicting emotions will default to the easiest to identify. So this is like the idea of sarcasm. Have any of you guys ever tried to be like sarcastic over text or over email and it's just blown the fuck up in your face? They did this awesome study, right? They did this awesome study where, yeah, right? Everyone's like, oh. They did this great study where they did an analysis of people's work emails. And they had the sender of the email highlight what was meant to be sarcastic, and they had the recipient of the email highlight what they thought was sarcastic. And like the recipient of the emails picked out like something like 11% of sarcasm, like completely missed. And of course, in most cases, sarcasm isn't like, oh, you looked really terrible today when someone looked really good. It's usually like, oh, you looked really, really terrible today or something like that. So the best way to do this is to simply add an emoticon. You know, if I send you a text that says like, I hate you, you're like, what the this is weird. But if I send, oh, I hate you with a big smiley face, oh, he's joking, all right, cool, whatever. I use 2 emoticons. This is the AOL smiley, colon, end parentheses, and the wink face, semicolon, end parentheses. Because the smiley face represents happiness, warmth, friendliness, and the wink face represents like whether you're being naughty or whether you're being like mischievous, right? Those are the only 2 things I really need to convey over text. If I'm going to make plans, I don't really need any of them other than to be like nice and friendly. Hey, here's my smiley face. When I'm sexually escalating, get the wink face, make it be a little naughty about that. So,
what about the tongue?
What about the tongue? Why would you ever need to stick out your tongue over text? I'm going to meet you tomorrow. You know what I mean? So I use these 2 because they get everything out of the way. Now, there are a lot of things, you know, things like the tongue and like the dollar symbol. Does anybody know what the colon with the dollar symbol means? Do you guys? What the? Yeah, embarrassed? What? I ate money. Oh, egg on my face. Like whatever.
I thought the tongue indicated like a clear, you know, sarcastic comment, I guess.
I know. I use the tongue for sarcasm a lot.
Yeah.
So,
It's instead of a wink, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess
The point that I'm.
People don't know what that means.
That's, yeah, I was going to say, the point that I'm trying to make is that there is argument about it. Who here doesn't know what a smiley is? You know what I mean? So that's actually what I was just going to say is that when you get to other emotions, we talked about emotional values. You're out? Fuck that guy, yeah.
Meeting.
Yes. Yeah. I've like, you guys like, you know, oh, was it? He's peacocking wearing a bunch of jewelry. No, I just find it on the bedstand. Put it on. The idea is that, so we talked about emotional value, right? And emotional value is coming into the play where each phrase or each word has an emotional value. Same thing with symbols, right? Now, in the case where something is less frequent, the less frequent it has, the more specific emotional value it has, right? The word it or the word the doesn't have a lot of emotional value, but a particular name has a lot of emotional value. If you use like the dollar symbol face or like a lot of the anime stuff, like Asian girls or like Asian guys send the like anime faces, you may not have seen that, or she may not have seen that very often. So we don't really know exactly what it represents to her, right? So we may be giving her an emotion that is not as specific as we need it to be, has a more general thing. I had a girl, I dated this beautiful girl I was desperately in love with, that would send me meow. And like master phone and text seduction artist, I could not, for the like 6 months we were dating, I couldn't fucking figure out what she meant. Because sometimes she was like, let's get together, meow. Or like, last night was great, meow. And it's like, okay, well, I get that. And then she's like, gotta go grocery shopping, meow. Have you voted? Meow. And I'm like, ugh. And then sometimes she said me like, meow, meow. And I like, you'd think it would be easy to like decipher. Couldn't be done, right? Could not be done. And then one time I was like, I got it, I'm brilliant, I'm gonna do that, I know exactly what she means. And I was like, hey, you wanna come over, meow? And she's like, what the fuck? So that's why I stick to the things that are very specific that I understand completely. So,
would you ever use a sad face?
Yeah, I mean, you can use a sad face, but like, when do you ever really want to be sad?
To disqualify.
Why do you need to disqualify over text? You already got her number, right? I mean, that's a good idea. You can try it out, but I just don't need it. And that's a lot of the questions I'll get, like, do you say lol, or do you use sad faces, or how many periods do you use? I just don't do it. And like crazy shit I've done with this, like I can do without using any of those things. So they say art is not adding, it's taking away until you can take no more. I mean, like every PUA is kind of like famous for something, you know, and my like big text game thing was I met this porn star at a place called Saddle Ranch. Maybe you've heard of it in the game. And I got her number, and then I went home and I started doing this iGame stuff to her, and then I got her on the phone and I like had her like, you know, touching herself, and I'm like, oh yeah, think about me. So I wound her up so much, and I was like, well, just come over. And she was like, oh yeah. So she ended up taking a cab from Encino to West LA to like sleep with me.
How far away is that?
Like it was like a $160 cab, like both ways. She was there for like 3 hours, I think. And I found out that she was a porn star, so I essentially got a porn star to pay to come and have sex with me, which was like, yeah, thumbs up. Like one guy's like, yep, validated. Use proper grammar, proper spelling, proper punctuation. It is a DHV. It makes you look intelligent. I'm not saying you're not intelligent. But here's the idea. No woman has ever stopped dating a guy because he was too smart, right? Listen, I know he's really handsome and he's like really funny and talented and very sexy, but he's just too smart for me. He knows, he uses too many proper punctuations. Doesn't happen. Better yourself. A lot of cases when you meet very, very smart women that text very properly, and you text, was up with you tonight, it makes you look like a jackass.
Yes.
Thank you. Just like, I don't mean to, yeah, right? When a girl, you're like super hot girl and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna text, oh, she's so hot, I'm gonna marry her. And she's like, what are you up to? Like, oh, fuck, MySpace again. Sorry, thank you. I don't mean to put you on the spot. I hate doing that to women, but boom. Avoid sarcasm, like we were talking about. Avoid sarcasm. If you're going to use sarcasm and you have that relationship with girls, like I'm super sarcastic. I'm from Boston. One of the girls I'm dating is just like, our relationship is just like insulting each other. And it's just like constant insults until like she comes over. And even then it's like, I don't want to come over. Just fucking shut up and come over. I need you to clean my kitchen. All right. One woman could never clean your kitchen, you asshole. Okay, she'll like come over and I'm like, hi, how are you? If you've got to use sarcasm and you're not at that point in the relationship, add a smiley, because conflicting emotions will result in the easiest to identify, which is the pictorial smiley. Like we were talking about 80.